So in last class, we had discussed about the meaning and definition of accounting. We also talked about the what is accounting and also talked about what are the its various important ingredients. So today in this class, we will be talking about the various functions of accounting. So first of all, we must understand that accounting is important because it identifies the economic activities and separates the non-economic activities from economic activities. For example, let us take two activities. One important activity is that the director of finance or director of HR of the company resigns from the company because of difference of his opinion with the board of directors. Second one is that a plant is destroyed by fire. Okay, both the events are important, but the first event cannot be evaluated in terms of money, because you see that when the director finance of the company resigns, there may be that some facts. I mean, he might have contributed immensely to the company's growth, and now when a new person is appointed, he may or may not continue with that same jeep. But however, we cannot measure it in terms of money. So because we know that once a director resigns, another will take his place. He will continue the work of the company, will continue. So there is nothing is related to it. However, when we talk about the when a plant is destroyed by fire, so some money is lost. First of all, secondly, let us take another example. If we are planning to buy a new plant, so again we have to spend money. It might have been insured. So in that case, if that is insured, in that case, what will happen? Your insurance company will give the money. So you are also getting, your company is getting also benefit out of it. So all these are in terms of financial term. So that's why second event, that is the facts relating to that of the your plant and machinery and your factory, it can be explained in terms of money. So that's why it found its effect in the books of accounts. Whereas whether a new director is appointed, old director resigns, all these things are not shown in the books of account. So that's why it is very important that only the economic activities having some financial relevance, which can be measured and expressed in terms of money, find their place in the books of account. So first function of accounting is the identification of economic activities. Second point is that measuring and recording of the financial transactions. So once we understand that something has its impact, something has its impact in financial, I mean in terms of finance in a company, then it must be measured. It must be measured means what is its impact. So this is done through accounting. So what this says, that accounting measures and records financial transactions in terms of money. Recording is done in journal book. So first of all, we learned that accounting measures as well as records. Okay. Only how do we measure? We just discussed an example that when a plant is destroyed, a new plant takes its place. So some money transaction is involved, because the plant which you had purchased, it must have some value. Okay, now that amount is lost. Let us say the plant was purchased, the purchase price of the plant was 1 lakh rupees. Okay, it have been used for let us say 2 years, and suppose the depreciation on the plant is 20,000 rupees. So 1 lakh rupees was the purchase price, 20,000 is the depreciation, which will be deducted from the price of the plant in order to find out what is the present value. Then let us say out of 80,000 rupees, which is supposed to be the value of the plant, we receive 70,000 rupees from the insurance company. So that means in our books of account, the value of the plant was 1 lakh rupees, out of which 20,000 was the depreciation on it. So 80,000 is the present value, out of which is the, we are talking about the plant which got destroyed by fire. So 70,000 is the amount which is received from the insurance company. Then 10,000 is the loss. Let us say on the other hand, if we received 90,000 rupees from the insurance company instead of 70,000 rupees, so in that case our profit will be 10,000 rupees. Our profit will be 10,000 rupees because 80,000 is the value of the plant, present value after reduction of depreciation, and we received 90,000 rupees. So there is a gain of 10,000 rupees. So because of it, we can say that we made a gain of 10,000 rupees. So all these things are measured and recorded in the books of accounts in terms of money. So these recordings are passed on in the journal books, then it goes to subsidiary books and the secondary books, that is ledger and trial balance, all these things. Okay, so this second function of accounting that we discuss is that it measures and records the financial transactions. Next, we can say that the third function which we are discussing right now is that it classifies accounts according to the nature of the transactions. Okay, so all the financial transactions are recorded first of all in the journal books, Then from journals they are transferred and recorded into the various ledgers. Okay, they are recorded into the various ledgers. Okay, so now we learned that accounts are classified into various heads and are transferred from journals to be recorded into various ledgers maintained separately for each account. So we should know that the books of accounts, in case of books of accounts, first there are primary books and secondary books. Okay, so journals are the primary books. That means first of all a transaction gets recorded in the journals. First of all, the transactions, any transaction, any financial transaction, accounting transaction, it gets recorded in journals, and from the journals it goes to various ledgers maintained separately for each account. When we discuss about ledgers, we'll talk about these terms at great length so that you can understand what is this. Next step is, or the another function of accounting is that it summarizes various transactions. So what do you mean by summarizing various transactions? Let us say let us take one transaction or one head of accounts, that is purchases. Okay. So we must know that how much purchase took place during a year, and in order to find that thing, you must know that in a corporate firm or in the business organization, there is a daily purchase and sales activities that takes place. So summarizing the various transactions is also important, because let us say we want to know how much purchases we made during a particular year, how much sales we made during a particular year. So these transactions are summarized. Okay. So it uh, it helps to know the total of the things during a particular time period. We could know this thing, what is how much it happened during a particular time period. Let us say for a monthly basis, for a 3 months basis, or we can it is also known as quarterly basis. We can also find out what are the sales and purchases on annual basis or half yearly basis. So these all the transactions, not only sales, not only purchases, because there are other transactions like salaries, like your sales returns, like your purchase returns. Everything is summarized to find out the summary of each transaction during a particular period, and finally to know what is the effect. That means what is the ultimate result of accounting? The ultimate objective of accounting is to give information relating to the total financial transactions during a year. So accounting also summarizes various transactions during a particular period. Then analyzing and interpreting the summarized transactions. It is also another function of accounting. So accounting also analyzes and interprets the summarized transactions. So that means analysis. Let us say when we talk about any business, we must know that how much revenues are earned, how much expenses were made, how much profits are made, what is our gross profit during the period, what is the net profit of during a period. All these are very relevant information for any business. Okay. So when we make an analysis and try to interpret what is the about these transactions. So analysis and interpretation is very important role in case of accounting. So analysis means what? Analysis means we want to make an understanding of what happened. Okay. So let us say what was the sales during the current period and how it relates to the past period. Let us say we are interpreting and analyzing the results of last 2 quarters. Okay. Let us say that in this quarter the sales are 90,000 rupees and during the last quarter it was 1 lakh rupees. So we can say that the sales during this current quarter is less as compared to the last quarter. We can talk like that, but again we will have to understand what was the sales during the same quarter of last year. Okay, if our record said that the period during which the sales are 90,000 rupees of this year, during the same period during last year it was 80,000 rupees. So that means we can say that our sales during this particular period have improved, in fact. So analysis and interpretation, these are two important things which plays a very vital role. So analyzing and interpreting of summarized transactions, it is another important function of accounting. So this helps us to make an informed judgment as to the area to which the attention should be given. Let us suppose wages are 1,20,000 during this year, and last year during this a particular period it was 1 lakh rupees. So wages have increased. So can we do something about this wages? Because if wages increases and production and sales figures remain same, then in that case our profit will decrease. Okay, so this interpretation and analysis helps us to make an informed judgment as to the area to which the attention should be given, where we need to give the attention more as compared to other areas, where the attention is least required, where the moderate attention will be given. All these things have to be decided, because this is very important function of management. Next, it says that communicating the summary of the results. So once we make a summary, then there are various interested parties. So now let us understand what is the summary of the results and to whom it should be communicated. That is very important. Summary of the results means, as you are preparing accounts, it is not only prepared just like this, it has certain objectives, certain goals of accounting. Why we are keeping the record of all financial transactions? Because ultimately finance plays a very vital role. How much you earned, how much you spent during a particular period, what was your profit, all these things. So these are prepared basically through three statements: profit and loss account, which gives us the figure of profit earned or loss incurred during a particular period; balance sheet, which tells us the what is the position of our assets and liabilities and the owner's money during a particular period on a particular date; and cash flow statement. Cash flow statement means how much cash came to the company during a particular period and how much cash went out of the firm. So that is cash flow statement. These three are the major types of summarized forms of accounts which are prepared by each and every organization, and it is communicated to the interested parties. Now let us try to understand who are the interested parties, or whose interests could be served by presenting such. So there are various parties. First of all, managers are interested to know whether their efforts are getting results or not. Owners, they want to know the money which they have spent on the company, whether it is in the right direction or not, or whether the business is doing well or not. Workers, they want to know how much is the profit, so that accordingly they can ask for bonus or any uh, increment in salary, all these things. Then investors, those who are though not owners of the company, they have interest in the company because they want to invest in the company. And also researchers just want to have idea what this company is doing in comparison to other similar type of companies. So also government is another interested party. Government also wants to know how much profit or loss earned by the firm. Accordingly they can ask for the tax and all these things. So number of interested parties are there to whom the results need to be communicated, the summary of the results, because they won't be interested for day-to-day transactions. They are basically interested what happened in the business. So that is the way to communicate the results or the summary of the results. Now we'll be talking about the process of accounting. We'll be talking about what is the process of accounting. So here you can see that there are 5 steps, but the way this accounting transactions are made. First, there is a transaction having money value, because you talk that any transaction or any event which don't have any monetary value or which cannot be expressed in monetary terms need not find any mention in the books of accounts. So only those transactions which are having money values, they will be shown in the books of accounts. So transactions having money value. Second point is that it should be recorded in the books of account. So as I talked just few minutes back, that first of all accounts are financial transactions are recorded in the primary books of accounts. So journals are the primary books of accounts. Journal books are also known as the primary books of accounts, where an event or transaction having monetary value gets recorded first. Then it goes to the secondary books. It gets segregated and it goes to secondary books, which are also known as the ledgers. Then once this specific item wise ledger is prepared, as I talked that there could be a sales ledger, there could be a purchases ledger, there could be a sales returns ledger, there could be a purchase returns ledger, there will be cash book, there will be salary account, all these things for everything secondary books or ledger is prepared. So all the transactions, let us say we purchase some goods for the company today, okay, after 5 days again we purchase something. So both the transactions which will be recorded in the journal book date wise. Then on the purchases ledger, these two transactions will be shown to find out what is the total of purchases we made. So secondary books give the transaction wise summary results. Okay. Then we prepare trial balance. What happened in case of trial balance? Trial balance consists of debit side, it consists of credit side. So all the items, depending on the nature of the transactions, whether it is a uh, uh, debit balance or credit balance, in their respective ledgers, they are transferred to or posted to the trial balance. So trial balance give a summary of all the debit entries and the credit entry. So if the debit entries in the trial balance during a particular period is equal to the credit entries of the trial balance, then we say that the trial balance is balanced, it gets matched. So if it is a matching one, then it's a right one, and there is nothing wrong. So once final trial balance is prepared, and once we realize that okay, all the transactions are giving the right results, all the transactions are the correct ones, next step is to prepare the financial statements. These are the summarized statements. So as I said, in case of any organization, it is very important that there should be prepared three types of important statements. One is profit and loss account, second one is balance sheet, and third one is the cash flow statement. So what are the because you see that first step in the process of accounting is transactions having money value. So that means, as in the beginning of this class, I talked that only those transactions which have some financial value gets recorded in the books of accounts or are shown in the books of accounts. So first of all, it is very important to understand and to categorize and to segregate the financial transactions from non-financial transactions, because non-financial transactions are not going to be shown in the books of account. Then the three steps are followed. First, transactions are recorded in primary book. Next, it goes to the secondary book. Then trial balance is prepared, and finally the summarized statements of these transactions, financial transactions known as financial statements, are prepared. So these financial statements consist of profit and loss account, balance sheet, and your cash flow statement. So we all know that profit and loss account, it shows the profit earned during a particular period or loss incurred in a particular period. That's why the name comes to it, that profit and loss account. So if the credit side or the income side of the profit and loss account is more as compared to that of the debit side or expenses side of the profit and loss account, then there will be profit. If reverse is the case, that means debit side or expenses side is more than the credit side or income side of the profit and loss account, then it will result in loss. Okay. So again, this balance sheet. So what profit and loss account showed? It showed the profits earned or loss incurred during a particular period. Then comes the summarized statement of balance sheet. Then comes the summarized statement of balance sheet. So in case of balance sheet, we know that it shows the summary of the assets and liabilities during a particular period on a particular date. Okay, it shows not on a particular period, like unlike the profit and loss account, which is prepared for a particular period, balance sheet is prepared on a particular date, because we know that assets and liabilities might change and might give different results on different days. Let us say the company has 10 lakh rupees today. Tomorrow it may not be 10 lakh rupees because some money, more money might come to the farm, or some more money could have been spent because more expenses are done. So balance sheet shows the position of the company in relation to the position of the company in relation to what? In relation to its assets and liabilities on a particular date or on a particular time period. So now we learned that this importance of this profit and loss account, which gives us the information relating to the profits earned during a period and loss incurred during a particular period. Balance sheet also gives us information relating to the what? Gives us the information relating to the assets and liabilities position of the business firm. Then comes the cash flow statement. So let us say there is profit, assets and liability positions are good, owner's money is good, but the question is, even if everything is okay, whether the farm has enough money in its hand, because if you don't have enough money, you might have so many assets, you might have so many lands, buildings, but you don't have liquid cash. So if you don't have liquid cash, what will be the problem? You cannot repay your debts, you cannot make repayment to expenses like salaries, etc. So that's why it is also equally important that the company should have a good cash position. In order to understand the cash position of a company, we prepare cash flow statement, which gives the information relating to the cash inflow and cash outflow during a particular period. Okay, we'll be discussing more in the next class.